Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Usual format. For us, we'll lead off with Sky and Fedima. Alice for PLP will follow on afterwards. Immediate embargo at that point for anyone who would like to do that. One embargo section, 10:30 p.m. this evening for Saturday newspapers. If anyone would like to do that, I know Hector's here working for those titles, so I'm sure.
That's one.
Cameras happy? In that case, we can go with Fedima.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good holiday?
Yeah, birthday game, the World Cup. World Cup that.
That's a lot of work, yeah.
Just finishing start with team news, just class not there.
He's ready, so that's very positive. Yeah, and he will of course start tomorrow.
Thank you. And we saw the news that they're very elaborate to Barcelona for the rest of the season. I just want to ask about, I guess, thinking behind that in terms of like what do people go and life on with a squad like Arsenal, but their ambitions are to win the league. Lots of debate about whether it's going to be the first choice keeper and stuff.
So why he's going on loan? I think that this is a deal that will be complete in the future. So I think he will not be alone in the future. I think that's the reason why he went there. It's my feeling and understanding, because I don't think it makes sense to go there on loan where there's a big competition for the number one spot. Of course, I back him, and I think he's a fantastic keeper. Probably slightly biased, but I think he's a very good keeper. Yeah.
I was asked about picking that you brought in as a keeper to the very start. What type of attributes do you think will bring to the squad, so your keeper is in mind for you?
I think he fit our model very well, the way what we're looking at, what we are searching for in a keeper. I think he got good distribution. I think he is very good in the box in terms going for crosses from open play and set plays. I think he's very good in the 1v1 situation. There will be a lot of in any game. And then also to covering the depth behind the defensive line. So those are the four main areas in there. He tick those boxes very well. Plus we are searching for some character leadership, because that most likely we would lose David Raya. That is one of our leaders, so we needed a player that could be a plug and play. You're welcome.
Like Thomas, you look frontlining the first half of the season. Last season they much of their own family did so well. They've got 13 points from 50 available when the likes of Raya and Kevin sort of played. Now that it is played for much of the first half of the season, how do you feel any issues that you might have to encounter to get around that from opposition teams?
Hopefully we can get that point score from 5 games, so 13 out of 15, I take that. Now it's good players. Kevin Schade is a very good player. I think Jon Wiss is a very good player. Of course, Brian is probably the go-to guy now. But I also think it's very important to mention Keane Lewis Potter. I think he's a fantastic player that I'm no doubt will be very good for us. He's been out with injury, just take a bit of time to come up to pace, but through this preseason, he's adding layers that I like what I see from him. But both Jon Wisser and Kevin Schade is good down the middle as a number 9. Probably maybe the best position. They can play both. They're flexible players. And they have a little bit different attributes. Wisser, I think, is fantastic in the box in terms of being in the right positions, being at the last line, attacking the gaps and crosses. Kevin is also good at that, but he also got his fantastic, incredible pace.
Okay. And I thought a solid start to the season in Sunday's draw against Tottenham, a game that had pretty much everything. I know after the game you said you felt your side should have won. I just wonder, what have you been working on in training this week to ensure that kind of a performance results in 3 points and not just the one moving?
I tried to look at what we were quite good at in the game. I think what we were quite good at was on the half transition, full transition, really good to progress forward, either playing early and behind or progress up the pitch quick. And I think also we got into nice, good areas where we produced good crosses that we are a big believer of to make breakthroughs or score goals. I think defensively in general looked solid. There's a few things we tried to just adjust a little bit on defensive set pieces. The first goal, great delivery from Maddison, but I still think there is a few bits we could have done better in that situation, which we worked on, for example. So we actually just tried to keep reinforcing what we did well offensively.
I know you were pleased with the goal scored, but you said you lacked quality in the final third at times. You spoke last week about the fact you're not looking for a replacement while Ivan Toney is out temporarily. Could that start to change between now and the end of the transfer window, or are you kind of just hoping for a little bit more players right now?
No, I think, as I said before, I'm pleased with the squad we have. I think there is very good quality in Brian, Keenlis Potashade and Wissa, plus Josh Dasilva and Mikkel Damsgaard, both, and especially Josh, have produced for us before. He's just had some few niggling issues in the preseason, but he's looking better and better. So that's 6 offensive players that we know can produce goals and create goals. So happy with that. But of course, it's a transfer window, so we have eyes and ears out there and aware if there should be a good opportunity available for us that fits what we that fits us, but also of course with the right price. And in this modern era or market, it's just insane. The prices in the market are crazy, I think.
Why do you think that is?
Good question. I guess it's I don't have a clear answer. I probably don't know enough about that. The only thing I know enough about is that the prices are too big, I think.
Looking ahead to Sunday then, another London derby for you when you travel to Fulham, a high-scoring fixture of late. I think the last 2 league meetings have produced something like 10 goals. What are you expecting this time round from Marcus?
And then we played a friendly in the summer series, also 5 goals, so 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. So most likely going to be a 3-2 game tomorrow. That'll be nice. Hopefully us coming out on top, winning 3-2. That'll be nice. Now we are going to up against Fulham. It's been take the 2 league games and this friendly game. 3 very tight games, 3 very even games against, I think, 2 good teams. I think Marco Silva and his staff have done a top job. I think I like the way Fulham plays, and I'm can't wait to play them. We know it's a big game for the fans. It's a big game for us. So hopefully we will come out there and play with great intensity and try to take initiative. It will be difficult away, but we'll do our very best.
You talk about even teams there. That was sort of displayed last season. The one place separated you for them in the table at the end of the season, 9th and 10th finishes respectively. Are you expecting both clubs to be quite enriched again this time around?
I think it's historically, I guess, definitely in the last 20 years or like that, if not more, Fulham have been more on top and probably are the bigger club and in many ways, but we definitely been growing and developed. So hopefully we is getting closer and closer going forward. But I expect a tight game tomorrow and a season where we will definitely push. I guess Fulham also want to push to be better.
Finally, from me, you're unbeaten in your last 10 Premier League London derbies, 5 wins, 5 draws under your belt. How much do you and your players relish this derby atmosphere?
I didn't know that, but probably quite a lot. That's a nice stat, but we need to continue performing. So hopefully we can build on that stat. So it's 11 games unbeaten, hopefully with a win. But there is something about it, and I would say especially Fulham. I know that's big for the fans. That means it's big for me and the players, and we will do everything we can to try to win the game.
Enjoy and good luck. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Hi, Thomas. You mentioned David Raya's learning to do there. The way you talked about it in your mind, has he played his last game for Brentford?
In football, you never know. I learned that you can never say never until there's a definite. Even it was not a loan deal, but like just a direct sell. Then you never know what happened. Maybe he's coming back in the future. You never know. But I think it's most likely yes.
It's It's obvious, I think, to people that watch your team how good a goalkeeper he was. That how hard is it to replace a coach like that in the dressing room and around the training ground?
I think we've been really good at the recent years is having really good characters and leaders in the dressing room, and David is certainly one of them. No doubt about that. But I think we have some good characters already in there now. Christian, Ethan, Ben Mee, I think Vitali, Machi are players that also have more and more leadership. And then I'm no doubt that Mark, he got it in him and has that character we are searching for, no doubt. And we will see that more and more. It's like any other person that's stepping into a new working place, and you just need to adapt a bit. But he has everything we are searching for.
I find it quite strange that a lot of questions have been asked as to why Arsenal want to sign another top quality goalkeeper, because it seems having that competition is a good thing for managers.
I think the right person to answer that question is probably Arteta. But I think in general, I think it's good with competition. I prefer competition as well. I also, in 7-8 positions, prefer that if people knows that they are performing, they are playing, so they know that. Of course, it's like embedded in the culture of football that if you don't perform, you're out of the team. I think no one is in doubt of that, but I also think it's important that some players know that, okay, if I do well here, I'll play. But also probably if I had 1 or 2 average games, probably play again, which I think personally is important. But you can't do that in every position. And of course, there will always be even a player that played every minute. Sometimes they are maybe starting to drop for whatever reason. Then you need to be brave enough to change them.
Anything else, Jay?
Yeah, just a couple from me, if that's all right. Hope you're good, Thomas.
Of course.
Do you mind asking about Jensen?
Yes.
So he's fit and he's going to start tomorrow.
Yes.
I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah.
Just check in on some other players as well. So what's the latest with that?
Ready, available for the game tomorrow.
Brilliant. And I know you were mentioning that it was going to be a tight game against Fulham tomorrow. Marcus was just saying that Mitrovic won't be playing tomorrow, so how much is a boost for that?
I think Mitrovic is a very good player and a very good striker. I think Jimenez is a very good player and a very good striker. And I think Jimenez on his top level is probably as good as Mitrovic. So a little bit different, but still similar. So I think he's a very good player that still will be in the team.
And then you're talking about a couple of players who hope kind of filling with some goals this season. One of them you mentioned was Josh Dasilva. I think he's into the final year of his contract now, so just wanted to ask, have there been any talks with Josh about extending his stay?
We are always in dialogue, the club and these players. I haven't asked Phil about it lately. I didn't know there was 1 year left. I had a feeling there was more than that. But I'm pretty sure there's more than 1 year.
Yeah. Trust you.
Don't have I don't have it.
No, I'm pretty sure there's more than one. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I can find out for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else before we go under embargo? In that case, we're now under embargo. Cameras can run, but please note the